right, good evening, everybody. Welcome into the stream this Friday evening. Happy to have you all here. We've got a ton of projects on the workbench, and I've gotten tired of not getting things done. So, tonight, wife's out of town. It's not a school night. So I'm not leaving this workbench. I'm not leaving this stream until we finish a project. So here we are. I hope we can finish a project so that I can go to sleep tonight. I have 2 projects that are near completion that, knock on wood, I should be able to finish tonight. At least one of them. However, to quote the great author Miles Finch, I've got a couple of projects that I'm particularly psyched about. So we're gonna start there. But first, we have an unboxing here. As we start most streams with, we've got a fun package here. Somebody was having a sale, which meant Paul had to buy things. Most people probably won't find this fun. I, however, got a little too crazy in this sale, so I gotta share it with you guys. Add a third project, a pyramid. Yeah, I don't know about that one for me, Brandon, but hey, if you want to start that project, have at it. I hope everybody's doing good out there, by the way. Okay, so who had the crazy sale? Well, those in the Discord channel might already know. It was Atlas that had a crazy sale. So, yeah, I went a little crazy. I'm just gonna pull all this stuff out to show you guys, because I got a lot of stuff. I don't even know if I'm really even gonna ever need all of this stuff. Oh, cool, they sent me a bunch of catalogs and stuff. Nice. Anniversary catalog. Track and accessory catalog. Wow, fun. So like I said, I don't even know if I'm ever gonna need all this stuff, but I own enough B23-7s that I decided I'm just gonna stock up on all of the parts that they have available. So I got a B23 undecorated shell, 2 different sills. So there's one with the non-anti-climber and one with the anti-climber. And then this nice bag with a whole bunch of other stuff in it. Set of FB2 truck side frames, because you never know when you're going to need those. This is a bunch of cab glass for U30Cs. And you might be asking yourself, Paul, what do you need cab glass for U30Cs for? Huh, that's weird. Oh, it's because I've had these sitting on my shelf for forever. These are U30C shells that I had bought at one point. I was just going to monkey around with possibly using the noses for the chop nose B23s, but I never did that. So I've just had these U30C shells hanging around. So I should have everything now that I need in order to kind of complete the shells. I thought I ordered sills for them though, and now I'm not seeing those, so oh boy, maybe there's going to be another order to Atlas at some point. But yeah, the U30Cs, I think the plan is going to be that eventually the Freelance is going to have a pair of U30Cs for their salt trains. There's a lot of local railroads around here that, you know, held on to for a really long time their eclectic fleet of 6-axle Alcos. myself being a GE fan, I figured, maybe my freelance had big GEs that they held on to for a really long time. So I went ahead and got most of the stuff I think I'm gonna need in order to make that project happen sometime. It's probably gonna be a while though. I can't imagine it's gonna be, anything that moves up my list really quick unless I find some sills or some chassis. Oh, that's why I didn't get sills. Duh. Because eventually I do actually still have to buy, motors or chassis with a motor in them for these U30Cs, and I'm presuming that I'll end up with sills for them at that point. So now, hopefully, if something goes wrong, like it did with my Finger Lakes 2310 project in the future, where unfortunately it arrived damaged, I can't imagine I don't have the detail or the parts that I need on hand now to replace them. So that was the point. Atlas had a Memorial Day sale where everything in their parts department was 30% off. So I took advantage of it. Half that stuff was like under $3 a piece. Like those shells were, I think the shells were like $4.50 is what I paid for them, $4.50. So really, really cheap stuff. Anyway, what do we have for projects on the workbench? Well, there's two that I'm hoping are completable tonight, and at some point tonight we are, of course, going to work on them. But I've also got two that I really want to work on first, just because I think they're going to be more fun. But here's the two that are possible for completion. This is the NS SD70M project that I've been working on for a video, which I likely should be able to complete tonight. Knock on wood, because this thing has been a nightmare worth of issues. So hopefully everything is worked out now. I had Don Iris help me with work through some issues, which I really appreciate his help. And I think everything is situated now, and all I should need to do is wire up these lights, put the shell on the chassis, add handrails, and call it done. Hopefully. We'll see though. The other project that I have here that I need to finish up is one that I don't think that you guys even actually knew I had. So 2301, we worked on this last live stream, put in a scale sound system speaker. In the last layout update, I showed it as a completed project. As I was finishing up the layout update, though, I noticed a rubbing sound coming in from inside this one. So I realized that something that I installed or reinstalled did not install properly. So I took it apart, realized that the speaker was sitting in a position where it kind of rubbed a little bit, repositioned that, and then when I put it back together, the magnet wire LEDs for the front ditch lights must have gotten pinched somewhere, because one of them did not work when I put it back together, unfortunately. So I've got two new LEDs installed in these ditch light housings, and they should be ready to install tonight. So that's the other one that we, knock on wood, should be able to finish tonight. But I really have other stuff that I'm more psyched about that I want to work on. So let me show you guys what those projects are. So the first one is the Freelance GP30. And in the mail today, I got a set of decals from Fusion Scale Graphics, and I am much, much happier now with how these things look. The last run that I had done through Fusion Scale, unfortunately the coloring was way off on the background of the logos, but it is now pretty much spot on for what it needs to be. This is Erie Gray Green is what this color is, and that's what this nose stripe is on the logo. And you can see it's a pretty darn good match now. I'm pretty happy with it. I did also go ahead though and just put in some decals of that color for stripes, so that, you know, no matter what happened with these decals, I was going to have something that matched. So that's all set. I also had an issue with some of the lettering not being small enough for these long hoods, so we should be good on that now. And I'm pretty happy with how everything looks. So that's going to be one project that I want to work on tonight. And then the other one, if we have time, if things go smoothly, is this new wireform tree that I built at camp. I want to kind of go through the next step in the process with you guys on stream, because I've got something that I want to experiment with, and I think I might be pioneering a new way to do the bark, the texture of the bark specifically. And I'm fingers crossed, hoping that this works out well. But I've got my acrylic modeling paste here with me, so we're gonna work on. I think we're gonna work on this first, and then we'll kind of pivot into some of the other projects depending on how long this takes. But this is where we're gonna start. A little bit of scenery work. This is going to be, some of you may have seen, I have a weeping willow tree that I'm working on for a very prominent spot on the layout. And the original 1.0, I was not happy with the amount of branch structure that I put into that one. So this one, I figured out ways to add a lot more branches and a lot more structure to the tree itself, so that hopefully it looks a little bit more realistic as far as the tree's concerned. I'm really happy with how the branch structure looks. So anyway, we're gonna dive into this project here, and we'll go from there. I hope everybody's doing well out there. I'll catch up with stream here real quick before we dive into the project, actually. Hey everybody, by the way, hello. Let's see who we got out there. We've got Garrett, we've got Adam, we've got Darren, we've got Ed. Ed, I'm glad you could make a stream. That's kind of the other thing I had in mind doing a Friday night stream, is that hopefully Ed and maybe Rob will pop his head in here. We got Tim out there, John's here, Steve's here, Rick's here. Welcome in, everybody. Happy to have you. Hope I didn't miss anybody from the chat, but again, happy to have you all here on this Friday night stream. Whoa, I'm dropping my ditch lights here. Okay, cool. Get these out of the way so I don't drop them again. BN Ironwood's here too. Hey, welcome in. So this one is not a reference from the campsite. This is actually a reference from a real tree on the Finger Lakes. There's one behind, there's a marina on the west side of Seneca Lake that I've got a drone shot of NSH06 going by this marina. And in the background, even though it's late fall and pretty much every tree has lost its leaf, there's this gorgeous, massive weeping willow that's still just in full fall color, full yellow color. And that's kind of what I'm going for, what I'm kind of trying to replicate here with this tree. So hopefully we can do that. I'm going to put on some gloves, find a crappy paintbrush here, because that's what we'll need in order to do this project. Life's a ditch light that you pinch in the chassis of the locomotive and have to replace. Alright, so let's see. I don't want to use a good paintbrush on this because I'll just end up ruining it. I think this is a somewhat crummy one here. There's a little bit of dried up modeling paste. So this is Liquitex Modeler's Paste is what I'm going to use for the bark texture. I'm likely going to have to build up a few layers, but I'm going to experiment on the first layer with you guys watching so that you can see if I fail or not. But you just basically lay it on nice and heavy. to cover up all of the wire so that it no longer looks like a wire form tree and kind of looks more like a bark texture. At some point, if anybody's interested, I may make a video on how I do my wire form trees, because I do it a little bit differently than some of the other tutorials that are out there online. I discovered my own kind of secret as far as, squeezing a couple more branches out of the trees. So we could get that done at some point. What's everybody else got out there on their workbenches, though? Let's hear what you're working on. Really got to lay it on thick here. It does set up relatively quickly, so I'm hoping if I can't get the texturing right on the first pass, that I'll be able to just kind of set this aside and come back and do another layer at some point tonight. In the hotel room for the weekend? That's a bummer, John. Hopefully it's someplace nice at least. Where I really want to build out the thickness of the branch, or the tree is in the branches. Some of these are a little thinner than I would really like them to look. So some of these might end up getting an extra coat or two. Related to Tuesday's episode, I thought Ray was gonna I don't know. I don't know what I thought Ray was gonna do, but on Heath's stream he was like, "Don't give away the whole episode." I was like, "It doesn't seem like he's gonna give the whole episode away." Looking forward to hearing that though, and I'm super happy that you ended up getting Rob on there with you, because he deserves his 15 minutes of fame for sure, and that's a good opportunity for him to get that. Baltimore. John. Hey, John. Powers. I'm doing well. I hope you are too, John. Yeah, Baltimore, my brother, actually, I just moved him home from Baltimore. He was down there for a couple of years and decided he wanted to come back. He liked it a lot. Just came home for other reasons, but liked going down there. I didn't get to visit him nearly enough, but I love, I'm a big baseball fan, so Camden Yards is one of the best ballparks out there, without a doubt. So it was always good to go down and see him and get a chance to go there, that's for sure. He's the topside kid and you're the trolling. Does he hold the flashlight for you? Do you get to yell at him for not having the flashlight in the right spot? Just like any dad. So the one disadvantage to having such a complex branch structure is this paste is going to take a lot longer than it normally does. So did anybody he's not qualified to hold the flashlight. That's cool that you're thinking about going to a game, John. That's yeah. I don't know if you've ever been to Camden Yards. Well, you're from Jersey. I bet you. I mean, it's not too far of a trip, but definitely worth seeing for sure. But anyway, did anybody catch the Buddy the Elf reference that I had right at the beginning? I'm not sure how many people had tuned in just yet, but my quote was that I've got a couple of projects that I'm particularly psyched about, which is what Miles Finch says when he comes into the meeting with Buddy's dad, the publisher. Very deep niche reference that I wonder if anybody even got. I don't know, Ed. Some of these branches are so complex that I'm not sure. I could certainly try it. It may end with me just getting another glove, though. I don't know if it wants to stick to the... Well, let's just see if we can... smooth it out with the glove a little bit, which is nice. Well, let's see. If this goes wrong, we can blame Ed. It was his idea. We'll get a sticker and everything. I can definitely like smear it on with it, but I'm not getting like refined results, which is kind of, part of what I'm hoping to get out of it. So Ed got half the reference. Good. At least we got that far. So kind of what brought this on, I'll mention, is in one of the Tuesday night around the layout chats, Tom Johnson was in there talking about his layout, and he's got these awesome trees that, boy, they have the most incredible bark texture to them, which just impressed me so much. And I've been looking for a way to replicate it. I asked Tom about it in the live stream, or in the Tuesday night chat. And he told me that actually they're a store-bought tree from Poland somewhere. So he's not entirely sure how they got the texture the way they did. But I have been kind of racking my head trying to figure out how it would have been that they got it. And I think I've got a good idea of how it was done. So I'm hopeful that I'll be able to replicate it on this tree. But I'm not sure how far into the process we'll be able to get tonight. I probably should have started in on doing this texture coat a couple of days ago and had it ready for like a final coat tonight. But like I said, we can at least just get it, experiment a little bit with it tonight, and we'll see how it goes. So Darren, Britt's actually out of town. So I'm a lonely loser stuck in the basement by myself, which is why I dragged all my other friends. I won't call all of you lonely losers, don't worry. Into the basement with me through the power of YouTube. Usually Friday would be date night or hanging out with some of our friends, but tonight it's modeling night. Yeah, John, those MBR trees, that must be what they are, yeah. They really are fantastic. And, I wouldn't mind buying a couple, without a doubt. Eventually I may. But for now, I really want to see if I can figure out how it is that they're getting those, the trunks to look so darn realistic from the factory. Okay, what else do we have left here? Got a couple more branches. Oh, didn't get all the way out on this branch. We're getting there. No, they're not it. Uh-oh. What was the saddest thing ever, Tim? We can all cry together. It can be one of those streams if we need it to be. You get over to Europe on occasion, don't you, John? You could probably just, pick them up while you're over there if you know in advance that you're going to be there. Almost done with this branch. The nice thing is once this stuff is dry, if you don't have a texture you're happy with, you can file it down. But for right now, I'm really just looking to get some coverage going and make it look halfway decent. Oh, that is really sad, Tim. Okay, we are moving right along here. And we'll get to some more fun stuff after all the people that popped into the stream said, oh, he's just putting paste on a tree, that's boring, and left, are gone. They don't get to watch the good stuff. Problem is, as I put more of this on, I'm losing places to hold it without smearing the paste. Oh, that's wild. Wellsville is actually where my wife is right now. We were supposed to be camping down there with her family. And her family still went, but I just couldn't justify hauling the camper down there and sitting inside all weekend after just being on a camping trip where we did more of the same. So she went down to hang out with her family for the day, or well, for the evening, and then she's coming back either tomorrow or Sunday. Okay. Getting there. Almost there. Okay, what's left? This branch and this branch, pretty much. Ooh, some of that's already starting to harden. Okay, one more branch here. Wow. Lots of action tonight. Storms, police. Fun night to live in Colorado, I guess, there, Adam. So I had some fun today before the stream, putting together a decal sheet, not for myself, but for Rick, who might still be out there. He's got his own freelance that he's had for a while, but never had decals made. So I put together the decal sheet for him to send to Fusion Scale. So I'm looking forward to seeing what he does with that. Alright, let's see, did I get everything here? Pretty much. Alright, so I am going to try to get quickly just one more coat on the main trunk. That way we can hopefully do with the idea that I had. I'm really going to lather this up because it needs a lot. Pretty happy with that amount. Let's see if I can just get this upper part of the main tree done too. Alright, so now, the thing that I'm not 100% sure of is that I'm wondering if I need to just let this cure for a minute or two so that it's still like semi-soft in order to do this, or if I should do it now, or if I should wait for it to be fully cured before I do this. But I'm going to explain kind of my idea for this now, in case we don't get back to this. So the idea is, you can see kind of the trunk structure is very smooth, right? There's not a lot of texture to it. That's kind of the way we want it for now, just to ensure that there's full coverage, there's not any wire exposed. That's good. But I'm thinking if I just let it cure for a minute, what I should be able to do is circle back with, oh, where'd I put it? Uh-oh, hang on. So I think what I can do is take this old golf brush that I have and use it, like brush it down the side vertically, yeah, and just get a little bit of more realistic looking bark texture. Oh, yep. I think I might want to circle back and do this once it's a little cured, but I can already tell that it's kind of working for me. And I'm pretty happy with how that looks. So then step 2, after this is dried is going to be a main layer of paint. And then I'm going to come back in and dry brush a whiter color in order to really make the texture pop a little bit. So you can see here, I'll see if I can. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with how the brush is working for that. I think this is going to work well. I still really need to actually build out the thickness of the trunk, but so far I'm happy with that. Ed, sorry that the ads are loud. We'll have to. They're set to run every half hour, so there's no timing involved other than that. But again, like I said, just makes these. I don't make a lot of money off of the ads, but they do just give me a little bit. So I don't have anything behind a paywall, so. That's just the way I make just a little bit of money off of this. All right, so really happy with that. I'm going to set it to the side, and we'll get started on another project. I do just have to actually rinse these out quickly before we start in on the other project, though, just because I don't want them to get dried like this. So give me just a minute. All right, I just set them in a little bit of water to soak. Yeah, it won't once it's coated. The real question is, if a scale tree falls in a scale forest and there's nobody around to hear it, does it still make a sound? That's the real question. Okay, so we are now 45 minutes into the stream. Let me ask you guys. What do you think? Should I hedge my bets and start working on a project that needs to be finished or that I know can be finished tonight, like one of these two? Or should we start decaling the freelance locomotive and see how far we get? I can either ensure that I can end the stream at some point tonight now, or I can throw caution to the wind and work on what I really want to, which is the freelance locomotive. Which project, Brandon? They're all projects. Wish I knew how to start a poll. No idea. It only makes a scale sound. Nice. All right, Nick's in for the freelance. Anybody else got a vote here? The one that's not the freelance? All right, you want me to be responsible, Brandon, and work on one of the ones I know I need to finish? It's too dark out. I can't hear. Okay, B and Ironwood, they're also all locomotive projects. Okay, so let's make this easier. The three possible projects we have to work on right now: the freelance locomotive decaling, ditch lights on Finger Lakes 2301, or LED wiring and wrapping up of the NS SD70M. Any project can be long, Brandon. That's why I'm not sure Okay, so far we've got 2 freelance votes here, so people are really wanting me to be irresponsible here, which I shouldn't be surprised. But, free Mr. Lance. Alright, we got 3 for freelance. Well, like I said, the stream is not being finished until one of these 2 is done. So, freelance. All right. Okay, we're going to start on the freelance, throw caution to the wind, and see how late we're here tonight. Because this is not going to be done tonight. In fact, it's so far from being done, I don't even have a decoder on hand for it yet. So, we are really just flying by the seat of our pants. But we've got the decals. So let's see. I need this. And there's some fingerprints on this because I handled it with a glossy coat with I don't know if I can get those off or not now. Hopefully we're okay. Okay, so freelance it is. Okay, so like I said, this yeah, this is like almost spot on. I'm pretty impressed with how much better this matches now. Pretty happy with it. So this is the nose logo. This is actually, for anybody who never saw it, this is the old decal, which I was not very impressed with the quality of. So maybe actually the first order of business here is going to be removing that. Freelance Friday. Love it. If I actually had time to do multiple streams a week, that's how I could divide them right there. Okay, so let's get this old decal off here. Hopefully it's not too stuck on there. Because I never put any microsol on it, so it should just pop right off. I should have probably just put water on it and seen if that was enough to get it off, but oh well. In the meantime, though, I think what I'm going to start with is the nose logo on the front side. So I think we're going to use this size. Actually, I'm going to zoom you guys in a little bit here. One moment. All right. That should work. If I can get Britt to go. I don't want her to go away every weekend, Ed. I do love my wife. I hope she's having fun, to be clear. But, no, that'd be a bummer to be alone every weekend. All right, get that soaking in the water. See if this is ready to pop off. Yeah, oh yeah, slid right off. Perfect. Bye-bye, old decals. Now, the next order of business is going to be the long hood lettering. I've got to make sure that that fits on there, and then I can work the striping around that. Hopefully we're good to go on the nose decal already. Let me get the decals out of the way and make sure that you guys stay in the frame here. So the name of the road, Nick, is Genesee, Wyoming Transportation. Eventually I'm going to put out a full story on it, but it's very, very closely related to Genesee, Wyoming Transportation. The twist being that it actually exists in a world where the normal Genesee and Wyoming, like the Rochester and Southern and all the G&W roads, never really existed, or Genesee and Wyoming itself stayed just a little salt hauling short line in Western New York. So my road is a 50% ownership between that Genesee and Wyoming and D&H. As a result of the lawsuit that D&H filed with Conrail in, I think it's 1983, which ended up giving them trackage rights over a Conrail line that was in such bad repair that Conrail ended up abandoning it. So the story is going to be that when they abandoned it, the lawsuit basically like reopened or something like that. And the result was that D&H and Genesee and Wyoming became 50% owners of the old Erie Railroad Batavia branch, which connected to P&L Junction. So long-winded story for sure, but that's the story of the short line. Genesee, Wyoming transportation, excuse me. So the short line also owns all of the trackage that Genesee and Wyoming in real life owns in Batavia, which is how it comes to be on my Fremo modules. Pretty happy with how that's looking. Yeah, you know what, Tim? I kind of thought about that for a while, and I think I'm going to change it so that it's actually 50% the real Genesee and Wyoming, just because it kind of makes it make a little bit more sense, a little bit more rooted in the real world, if that makes sense to you. Okay, pretty happy with that. Let's get some long hood decals out so that we can start monkeying with that. This paper is so glossy that I can hardly see what I'm cutting. But yeah, in other exciting news though, I did actually just find a really good deal on the first 3 salt cars that I'll be doing up in the Genesee and Wyoming transportation scheme. Those are on their way to me. And funny enough, I'm kicking myself because sure enough, right after I ordered them, I realized the guy actually had a 4th one on his eBay store. Oh well. All right, I'm only going to cut one of those out for now, just to be safe. Hey, Sean. Sean, I've got to apologize to you. I did not realize when I scheduled my stream, I forgot that you have your streams on Friday nights. So I apologize that I kind of walked on your stream. I'll have to keep that in mind in the future when I'm planning live streams. I need to clean. There's still smudges all over this paint, and I don't want to be putting a decal down on that. Actually, I should be using microset for this. But Sean, I hope your stream went well and everything, at bare minimum. And I'm glad you're here. I wonder, is there ingredients on this? Because every time I use microset, I'm just like, is this just vinegar? Is it white vinegar? Because that's what it smells like. All right, so let's hope this goes well. Lays right down in the microset. And now I just need to kind of figure out where it is that I want it to sit. So the sill stripe is going to come... Oh, wow. I'm just now noticing how off this sill stripe is. That's kind of a bummer. I may end up having to correct that at some point. Okay, so let's see. I kind of want it to be just a little bit lower. Super secret recipe. Yeah, I've got a feeling the super secret recipe is just white vinegar. Or at least that's what it smells like. I could taste it. Wouldn't be the first thing I've tasted dumb things on stream, but I don't think I will tonight. Okay. I think what I really need to do is get some of this decal film out and going so that I can kind of position it where I want to. This is gonna be a problem I need to correct. How uneven that ended up printing, or that ended up painting. Thanks, John. Yeah, raid the kitchen for some vinegar. Instead of doing the taste test on the micro set, do the vinegar on the locomotive, see if I ruined my paint scheme or not. Okay. Let's see. Cut out some of this striping here. And we'll play around with that, see how far we get. Kind of just winging it. It's fancy white vinegar, Garrett. Yeah. Let's give it to the RIT kid. They gotta have something on the campus to be able to, you know, reverse engineer this. Garrett's just gotta find the right major to work with. It really doesn't have the ingredients on it, though, interestingly. I wonder if they have them online somewhere. Interesting questions. All right, so the only other question I do have, kind of, is how high up the handrails are going to sit, because I don't want the handrails to be blocking this. So let me pull out the handrail for this side quickly, hopefully. Maybe. Whoa. Oh, these are so garbled together that I'm going to pull everything out at once. Before I get too far into this, I'm going to make sure I get everything else back in the bag. The cat has decided to join us downstairs, if you hear him meowing. Okay, so let's see. Let's just get a good idea of, I don't want to put these in all the way, but I just want to see. Yeah, so it looks like right there it's sitting just above, yeah. So right there is pretty much where I want it. I'm happy with that. Cool. All right, I'm gonna pull this handrail back off. It is vinegar based. Cool. Yeah. Garrett's got the mechanical stuff under control, right? Are you a mechanical engineering major or an electronic engineer? Electrical engineer? Yeah, electrical. That's what I'm looking for. I was a business management major, not an engineering major, as you can assume. Okay, so here's going to be where the fun starts. This stripe actually might end up being a better candidate for the back. It looks like it's a little long for up here. But it might wrap right around the back the way I need it to. Oh, now I folded it over on itself. Oh dear. Oh, I'm going to regret the amount of not putting more sill stripes or more stripes on this decal sheet, I have a feeling. Ah. Yeah, that's going to be just about the perfect length to wrap around the back, I think. May need to trim it down just a wee bit. Alright, so let me just make sure I get it into place on this side well. Hopefully you guys can still see well enough. Make sure it's relatively straight. Okay, so I want it to be just a little bit closer to the G. If I can manage that. The decal film's kind of causing a little bit of friction with each other here, so see if I can. Oh, come on, behave. Okay, that's good there. Now I just need to carefully trim this on this side. Hopefully. There we go. Alright, so now I just need to make sure that it's straight all the way through, unlike the front nose. I think what I'll end up doing is probably just repainting that whole front nose, unfortunately. But you know, this is a learning experience for me. Ah, okay. So I wasn't off with either of them. Very cool, Garrett. Looks like I'm a little high on the left side here. Actually, I think the whole thing's a little low compared to the lettering. Let's try to very carefully just bring the whole shebang up. This is actually one of the times where I don't like using a brand new X-Acto, because sometimes they're a little too sharp and they just poke holes in the decal film. I think I'm happy. I think it's got to come up just a little further. But yeah, for anybody who doesn't know, this scheme is essentially New York Central Cigar Band, but in Erie passenger scheme colors, to pay homage to the two fallen flags, which make up the trackage that the railroad owns. Also happen to be two of my favorite fallen flags too, of course. So it works out. Still a little low. It's kind of encroaching on the class light enclosure, which I don't love, but I think I'm still happy with it. Cool. All right, so we're good there. I'm not entirely sure what I want to do. What I might do is wait to do the nose from the logo to the nose until I repaint the nose completely. Kind of wasted that decal too, unfortunately, but oh well. But we can do the other side of the long hood here, the lettering. We can do the numbers on the cab. There's a whole bunch of stuff that we can get done. Looks like we're holding pretty steady out there numbers-wise. I appreciate you guys tuning in with me. And again, this is a non-school night stream, so we're probably going to go a little bit later than 9 o'clock, especially since Dennis is having fun at the New England RPM, the Northeast RPM, whatever they're calling it. And he's not going on after me tonight, so we've got the night to ourselves here. Oh, no! Got my decals all wet. Darn it. That's a bummer. Might be able to get away with using those. I don't know. I can try. These are the creek route is the nickname of the line because it parallels the Tonawanda Creek up from Attica to Batavia, and then crosses the Owaka Creek in Leroy. So I nicknamed it the creek route. So those are going to go underneath the numbers and reporting marks on the locomotive cab, which I don't know. I might need to shrink everything a little bit. We'll see. I actually still haven't even party foul. Hey Willow Creek, welcome in. I still haven't even decided what I'm going to number this thing. The plan is that it's going to be horsepower related for the first two numbers. And I can't remember what the GP30s had for horsepower. Up the creek without a paddle. Yeah, that's going to be the saying of the locomotive, the engineers when they're having issues. This seems like a question for Tim. Tim, what's the horsepower rating on a GP30? That'll help me decide what number we're going to do for this GP30 here. And in the meantime, we'll get this on. $22.50. Oh, okay. So do we do $22.50 as the numbering series? Oh, that's weird. Oh, I think we ran into this issue too. That's annoying. So what we might do is actually trim back this film a little bit further so that we can get this to stick on there properly. So it'll be a little mismatched, but you're not really going to know that it's mismatched because, you know, you're not looking at both sides at the same time, I think. So, yeah. I just need to trim it back to about here, it looks like. If I can get away with it. That did not trim straight. So maybe what we'll do for a number on this thing is 2251. I like that. I think that'll work well. No one will know but you. Exactly, John. Alright, I gotta get a little bit more. I don't usually use microset, funny enough, but it seems to be working well on these decals. And when you've got like a super long decal like this, I think this is the play to kind of keep it as straight as you can. The guy who lettered it was just drunk. Well, there's certainly stories about that from various different railroads and paint shops. Like you could tell which locomotives were painted on a Monday because the guys came in all hungover from the weekend, and which ones were painted Wednesday because they were all sobered up. And then again on Fridays, you know, they half-hearted them. All right. Slowly working this way down into position. Too much Jenny, yep. Okay, I think we almost got it down far enough. I'm hesitant to try to square up that band. I don't know. I'm going to try. Pardon my big old head in the way. I shouldn't have tried. And I should have left well enough alone. I don't know. Might look a little better, might look a little worse. Not so sure. Oh gosh. You guys ever want to know what it's like to watch a train wreck? Oh, I actually, what I can do is just get a little bit of brand new decal and pop it over the end, so I'm not going to worry about that any longer. Yeah, 4:45 on a Friday. Jeez. All right, is that? Nope, it's not sitting on there straight. Oh, I'm leaving it out of your guys' view here too. Sorry. Gotta yell at me when I do that. I think that this end is a little low. Yeah, it's arched in the middle. Gotta get a little bit more microset in there. Still a little arched. getting there. Ooh, probably too far now. No. Come on. I think I just need to bring up the transportation end a little bit. Oi. That's pretty good, it looks like from... I'm looking down the end of it from right here. Pretty happy with that. Cool. Yeah, Finger Lakes Northern is a little bit shorter of a name, isn't it, Tim? It's funny, I'm still very much a novice when it comes to Adobe Illustrator. So I learned something today that would have helped me with this situation. I learned how to kind of scrunch the lettering in a little bit more. But, oh well. Okay, so we said 2251 is what we're going to go with for numbers. So let me get those ones cut out of here. Need 2 2s, so I'll just take these two that are right next to each other. Flung the one. Okay, and then I'll get my GWT reporting mark here as well, which I'll try to use the one that I already bunged up. And then somewhere I need to find space to put the locomotive type. I've got in super fine print up here, the locomotive type. If you guys want like a sneak preview of what might possibly be on the roster, I've got them all listed there. There's GP30R, C424, C420, RS11, C40-8, GP38-2, GP40, GP40-2, B23-7 if I ever want to do that. Of course, I never actually put U30 on here because that was all kind of impulse buy stuff, but oh well. So yeah, this is a GP30R is what we're calling this. So I'll get that all trimmed out of here as well carefully. And we'll figure out how we're going to put that on the locomotive. If I had a nickel for every job done right now. Yeah, that's funny, Garrett. Alright, so I'm going to start with the GP30R. Just because I'm not entirely sure where I want to put it. Probably like bottom, yeah, that's where I want it. Bottom right corner of the cab. Maybe bottom left. We'll see once we get the rest of this on here. Let's get the numbers on. Two. All right, where's my other two? got loose on me. 2's on the loose. The deuce is on the loose. All right. Here's our 5. And the 1. All right, so I want these to sit a little lower than the cab number itself. Oh, there's way too much liquid on there. I'm going to try to get a little bit of it absorbed off. All right, so the banding is going to go like kind of below the cab window there. So I do want these to sit relatively low. If I need to, I'll redo them and just kind of set them on top of the banding a little bit. We'll see. The other option is also to bring the GP30 down onto here, which kind of works. Yep, I'm happy with that. We'll put the GP30 down there. Wow, just now leaving. Did you wave as they left there, Adam? And I'm going to hopefully get away with bringing you guys down into super zoom mode, because I'm realizing that it's still tough to see what I'm working on here. Hey, Sean's back. Welcome back, Sean. Okay. Pretty happy with where that's sitting. Just got to get them all straightened out, but I'm going to get the GWT reporting mark on there first, because that'll kind of help give me a point of reference. Uh-oh. Come on. Wanted to fold over on me. So far, I think this is my second time using Fusion scale decals. I think I used them on a different project. And I like them. For the most part, they are a little bit thin, but usable. Except when they fold over on you, apparently. Must have jinxed myself. Yep, I'm going to have to get a fresh reporting mark because that one's all folded over. Bummer. That could be just a result of it being one of the ones that got wet. So just give that a minute to soak and see if I can finagle the numbers together a little bit better here while it does. Pretty much want them just centered under the window. one just needs to be just a tad bit lower. Pretty sure that's good. Yeah. I don't think I could do better than that if I tried. Now watch me mess it all up when I put the reporting mark on here. Yeah, I wish I would have gone with a little bit smaller of a font than that for the reporting mark. That feels a little big. I'm pretty happy with that though. What do you guys think? I'll give you a closer look here. Ooh. Hard to get it to focus. It feels a little bit busy, I think. I might need to find a different place to put the GP30R, maybe. Maybe I drop it all the way down to here. What do you guys think? Thoughts? Where should I relocate the GP30R? I'm gonna see what it looks like if I do. Oh, of course that's already dry. The one thing on here that's already dry. On the sill? Well, the sill's yellow and the decal's yellow, unfortunately, so I can't do that. I'm thinking like down there. No. Do I move up the creek route and put this like at the bottom? Let's see what that looks like. That might be the ticket, I think. I think I like that a little bit more. Yeah, that's true, Garrett. What do you guys think? I think I like that. John saying front cabinet. I could do it on the front cabinet. I can see what that looks like. Right, I'm a big fan of this, but I can always move it back if I need to. I don't mind that either. Let's see. I'm gonna get my my direction indicating Fs on here. Don't worry, Garrett. We're not gonna be like a Finger Lakes caboose here and have 1,000 Fs on it. Garrett found out where all the Fs people go when he started drawing up decals for the Finger Lakes caboose. There's like, how many, did you end up counting them, Garrett? How many ended up being on that that locomotive? Oh, where'd it go? There we go. I think I like it up here on the front. Once I have the F on, I'll make a final decision. Come on, F. For F's sake, work with me here. Too much water. Garrett likes it on the cab. Well, I don't think I'm gonna go with the cab personally. The F is misbehaving. There we go. Yeah, I think that's the ticket. I am very happy with that. Let's see if I can get it. Problem with this camera is it doesn't have autofocus. It's just a fixed focus camera. And it's meant to be between like 3 to 5 feet. So if I get closer than 5 feet, it doesn't focus very well. Or closer than, yeah, you guys know what I'm saying. 500 Fs. Got it. Yeah, I'm happy with that. I think. I just noticed that the creek route is not quite straight. Okay, everything else good? Am I good to lock this side down? The 2 might be a little low, but I don't know if I'm moving that at this point. I might have gotten it. No, still low. Problem is that it looks low as I'm looking at it this way, but not, oh, now I did it. How are we looking now? Yeah, see, when I look down at the long way, the 2 looks low. But from, well, now that I'm looking at it again, it does look low still. How's that? That's good. All right. Roll with it. Okay, where did I put the brush that I was drying things with? Okay, let's see if I can get a little bit of moisture out of the creek route here. Of course, it's moving all over the place when I do that. All right, I think they're ready to lock in. Garrett's gonna be counting F's on this caboose for the rest of his life. All right, here we go. This is a high stakes game right here. Try not to have too much on it when I do the initial. All right, I'm just gonna leave that and work on the other side now. Oh, and I properly just set it down on that. Nice. Yeah, if you don't believe Garrett, go look at it. Check it out. Okay, here we go. Well, I'm sure it will be nice to have your mom home, Tim. Hopefully that process keeps going at the pace it's at now. All right, creek route's on. Let's get some numbers going here. Make sure I dry off all the excess water off my mat before I put this back down. Just want to tell you, Garrett, that was the perfect opportunity for a Rickroll. I'm just gonna put that out there. Oh, I didn't realize. I forgot I put repeated numbers on this set. I could have used those for the 22. Well, I still can for this side. Although I don't know if I like the spacing or not. Let's throw them on and see. Okay, and I just need my GWT. And the GP30R. Excuse my big head if it's in the shot. The GP30R decal is just so small, I gotta get up close to see it. Alright, what time are we at? 9 o'clock. Oh boy, and we haven't even started a project we can finish yet. Darn me for listening to you guys. Hopefully we can finish up this side of the decals a little quicker, so that we can move on to a project that's going to be finished. Well, that's what I'm saying, though, Garrett. This could have been a situation where I least expected it, you know what I mean? Okay. Let's see. How are we looking over here? Probably good enough to lay on its side and not mess anything up now. Alright, we'll get the GP30R logo going. It was kind of here-ish. Hey, Dennis. It's going well. We haven't even started a project that's possible to finish yet, so we're on track, you know? Like I said, not a school night. I'm not worried about getting out of here too quickly. So we're gonna wrap up the decals here and then move on to a project that's actually possible to finish tonight. There's the GWT. What do you think, though, Dennis? This is side one nearly complete. I just got to do the cigar banding on this portion, but I have to repaint the nose first. Yeah, they are being bad influences on me, but I kind of expected it, so it's all good. Oh, now I gotta flip it back over. It's all stuff that's gotta get done. And normally, you know, on a non-weeknight, if I'm at the workbench, I'm here late anyway, so. We're model railroaders. We start projects we can't finish. Where'd my one go? Oh boy. Got a one missing in action here. Probably took it out and flung it. Get the F out of there and then... Paul, language. I'm just kidding. It's really an F. The forward indicating F. Okay, that's good. And then I just gotta cut out a new one. So it's just me and the dogs this weekend, and one of the dogs is hanging out down here with me. The other is, I hear him upstairs, and I'm pretty sure he's just staring out the window, hoping my wife is coming home. Oh boy, trip to Syracuse. Yeah, certainly understandable, Ed, for sure. Oh, okay, there's the one. I have some hard manual labor to do tomorrow myself, but not till the afternoon. My sister had a massive weeping willow taken down at her house. So I'm going over to help cut it up all into firewood, praying that they rented a wood chipper, because I have no idea if they did or not. Or not a wood chipper, a wood splitter. And then we got to move it all back to the firewood stacks. Lots of work. Yeah. We all could, Garrett. I might be being optimistic, but I'm hoping to honestly finish up both of these projects that are near completion tonight. We'll see if that's too optimistic or not, but... That looks really straight looking down it this way, but these numbers really play tricks on you. Do I have it? Yeah, I don't have it down far enough either. All right, enjoy the raffle, Dennis. Thanks for stopping in. Come on back if you You still got time. If I'm still going, I mean. Which I probably still will be. Man, this font is so tricky to get to lay straight. So I don't want to be obnoxious, but I have been told I have a halfway decent Dr. Doofenshmirtz impression, Garrett. Okay, happy with that, I think. Yeah, Tim, you got your work cut out for you, my friend. Okay, let's get some microsol on this side. We'll do another batch on the other side too. Actually, is that GWT? Man, these decals are really deceiving. Like, it feels like it's not straight, but I don't know. I think it is. I think we're good. All right, I'll get a second coat on the rest of these here. Get them really sitting down in now. Cool. Okay, I think we're gonna call it on this one for the night. And let's just see. Let me take a quick peek back at the tree here. So I am still kind of curious what's gonna happen now if I try to use that brush. Hey, just gonna truck it made it. Welcome in. All right. Okay, so it's kind of halfway set up now. I'm just curious what's going to happen if I try to do this now. Call it research. If I go, I'm getting some like kind of lighter striations in there now. So that's interesting. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. I think the texture is really going to work well for this. I'm excited to continue on with that. But I won't bore you guys any further with it. More decals to do. That seems to be both of our lives lately, Garrett. I have to order the ones for my freight cars. Pretty cool. I decided what I wanted to do for the salt cars. Actually, let me go grab one. Hang on one second. So these are my inspiration for the Genesee, Wyoming Transportation. Wow, I can't even say my short line right. These are my inspiration for the GWT cars. These are salt cars that are, of course, in service on the Finger Lakes. Oh, Gary, your internet died? That sucks. These are salt cars in service on the Finger Lakes. These are Magor 4750s. Pretty cool. These ones, this green dot that's on them represents that they're in food grade service, which means the standards are a little bit higher. But these two are actually very special to me because the bottom one here was weathered for me by Bill from my Finger Lakes Railway Layout. He custom painted this one for me, which I very much appreciate him doing. And then the top one, I also got from a good friend of mine, Jim Gibbs, who custom painted one for me as well. So, and then I've got one stock Exact Rail one. But the cool thing about the Magor 4750s is that they are aluminum cars. So in salt service, they last a heck of a lot longer than normal cars do. Actually, let me go get the other one, and I'll show you something. So this is the stock Exact Rail one. And you can see that they put on like this graffiti touch-up on both sides. And I'm going to kind of take inspiration from that, but I'm going to use, let's see, where is it here? Uh-oh, where is it? But what I'm going to use for the paint touch-up is actually going to be Erie Gray Green. Which is, of course, the kind of tertiary color in the paint scheme on the locomotives. So you can kind of see what the color looks like here. So I'm going to pretend that, of course, there's graffiti on my freelance salt cars that needs to be touched up. And because this is a tertiary paint color on the locomotives, we're going to say they ordered even amounts for the locomotive projects and had a ton of this color laying around the shops. So that's what they're going to use to kind of touch up the paint. So they're going to be aluminum-sided cars with a little bit of gray-green, Erie gray-green paint, just to kind of give it a little bit of flair, if you will. Clean up for what happened, Adam? Hopefully everything's okay. Water issues. Oh, I actually just had a couple of water issues myself. The Fremo layout had water dripping on it for a little while, unfortunately. And I didn't realize it. Thankfully, there's no damage to it or anything, but it was a little bit annoying. Okay, so we're done with the freelance project, done chatting about a million other things, so let's see. Which project should we take on first? Should we do 2301 first? Or the SD70M? Let's have another vote here. Oh, I gotta zoom back out a little bit here. All right, Tim's in for the 70M. How about everybody else? Let's hear it. Which one shall we work on first? The dreaded 70M. Just get her done. All right. That's enough. I guess that's enough voting. We'll try to get the 70M done. Okay. Fingers crossed. Everybody's fingers crossed, right? Just here for the Kool-Aid. All right. Pressure's on, everybody. We're now working on some... I can take these gloves off to work on this. Hands are getting all sweaty anyway. Okay, so we've got all of the lighting wired, installed properly. Now the next step is going to be figuring out how much I want to shorten these leads, if at all, which I probably do. And then I'm going to work on soldering the leads together and then getting them installed into each of the soldering pads here. Yeah, gee, thanks, Ed. Way to vote for the longer project right before you fall asleep. Appreciate it. Oh, gotta move the focus a little bit here. Let's see if that's better for you. All right, I can work with that. Okay, so let's get started on a little bit of wire prep here. I am just gonna, I think these back ones can get trimmed down a little bit. Probably can take about this much off of them. All right. All right. That's the struggle with this magnet wire, is when you're stripping it, sometimes it'll just completely break off. There we go. Got those ones done. All right, so how do we want to trim down everything back here? Let's see. Yeah, I can definitely take a little bit off of these as well. Probably just about the same amount. Garrett, this is magnet wire. Not boring. I can't stand it, but you should be in all your glory watching me struggle with it. Oh, the other dog has finally decided to join us downstairs. Hi, Bronco. Hi, buddy. Well, it probably is still a little long. I have a tendency to leave it long, honestly. I'm just trying to make sure there's not like an excessive amount of excess wire hanging around in the shell. Ah. Yeah, that's why I try to leave them a little bit long. Sometimes that does become a little bit of an issue, like it did on 2301, where of course now I've unfortunately got to replace the ditch lights because I left them long and they ended up pinched. But oh well. Okay, so we're all good here. Let's get some common positives tied together. I'm going to use the same pad, the same positive pad for the front and back headlights. So I'm going to get those all wrapped up together and then soldered together. And then the ditch lights will have their own common positive pad. So we'll get those situated. Okay, there's those ones. Okay, there's the ditch lights, and then we can also do the front and back headlights as well, because those will go to the same function output. I should say, there's 2 LEDs in the back and 2 LEDs in the front, so right now I'm soldering the 2 back ones together and then the 2 front ones together. Ditch lights came apart. That's good, Tim. Just keep in mind, though, that whichever bank you go through will pull all 3 reports, so they'll see your score at all 3 of the reporting institutions. That's part of what I do for my day job, working at a bank. Yeah, lots of excess solder. Okay, we got everything combined that needs to be combined here. I think I've already got all of the function pads tinned already as well, but I just need to get my ESU reference guide out here just to double check. Okay, so we got front light, and then common positives back here. Okay, all right, let's start with the front light. Okay, that should be good. We'll roll in with the common positive here next. Use this back pad first, I think. I have to come back in and clean up a little bit of long wire, I think. Too much solder going in there. I hope so too, Tim. Definitely. Sometimes repair videos and stuff get a lot of views, and then hopefully that turns into a lot of GoFundMes. Okay, so we should have front lights on, common positives on. Rear light is this one. We can do that now. I don't like the way that looks. I think I got solder off the pad a little bit. Probably gonna have to clean that up. Oy. Yeah, I did get a little off the pad. Bridging the gap to something else here that I don't want to bridge to. This is the bridge to use an external resistor. And I don't want that bridged. But it's very easy to bridge. Okay, I think I've got it separated properly there. Alright, Tim's done with work. Exciting. Alright, I only got a couple of responses earlier from people with stuff on their workbench. What's everybody else working on here? Somebody else has got to be working at their workbench tonight. Okay. There's one ditch light. Alright, clean up some long wires here and then give it a test. And we'll know for sure if this is going to be a project we finish tonight or not. Yeah, that's a bummer. I noticed that you said that in Dennis's Discord. Hopefully it's something fixable. At some point, I'd like to do something a little different for a stream. I really enjoy track planning, And I'm actually working on a track plan right now for just gonna truck it. So eventually I'd like to just do like a stream where I stream upstairs in the office and just stream putting together track plans. I think that would be a fun way to spend an evening. But I've got to work through all these projects that are incomplete first. Okay, I'm nervous, but it's time to test this thing. Yeah, clear all my junk out of the way here. All right. Wish me luck, everybody. Oh, already got some lights. Oh, all front lights working. Okay, awesome. Let's see, rear. Got all the rears. Let's go. All right. Woo! Beautiful. Here, I'll put it back on the track and show you guys. Oh, they're even already alternating, so I don't have to update that. Beautiful. How's the light bleed look? No light bleed. Got that all prepped and ready. We are good to go. Check it out. Front light's working. No, Nick, I don't actually. I super glue LEDs straight to lenses. I have 04, actually no, what are they? Although Garrett just told me about a new set that they're doing. These are LN341. These are the lenses that I use. And I just dab an LED and a little bit of super glue, stick them right to the back of these lenses, and then they fit really perfectly right into Athearn in particular. They fit perfectly into Athearn housings. Have I used them in anything else? I think I've used them in Bowser before. They fit well in there. Lots of different applications where they fit well. Okay, so now now's the tough part, the fragile part, which is doing a little bit of wire management to make sure that everything fits in there nice and clean, and going from there. Oh, run shrink tube for wire routing. Oh, interesting. I hadn't really thought about that. That probably would help organize things a little bit better, wouldn't it, Nick? Thanks for pointing that out. I don't know if that's like a common thing, but no, I don't do that. And yeah, I definitely could. I'm all self-taught. Like this is not anything anybody ever taught me to do. I just kind of winged it, learned it on my own. So I never claimed to be. I mean, I can install a decoder with my eyes shut, but that doesn't mean that there's not new tricks out there to learn. And I always appreciate when people send new tricks my way. So, okay. What I am going to do, though, is use a little bit of electrical tape, and just all I do is tape it along the roof of the locomotive to help manage the wires. So we'll do that now. Yeah, Ellen, yeah. Yeah, that's true. Truck it, I mean, that's, you know, there's always the possibility that you've got to do that, but shrink tube's not that hard to cut into, at least, so. Alright, so let's get these ditch lights all tucked up nice where I don't have to worry about them getting stuck into the front truck here. That's good. And then I can run them down, get them to the roof line. I may have shortened these too far to really run with the headlight wires. Right, use it without shrinking, absolutely, yeah. That makes sense. I've just never thought to do it that way. That's that's cool. I'm glad you pointed that out. It's a little late for me to do it on this one, obviously, but I will tune into the next stream that I'm doing a decoder, and I almost guarantee I'll be doing it because that's a great idea. Especially because then you don't have to deal with wrangling wires like this, which is possible, but oh yeah, and if you use black electrical tape too, if you got like see-through radiators, you're not going to see the red wire. That's, yeah, I'm in on this idea for sure. As long as it goes smoothly for me the first time I try it, that'll be standard practice for me moving forward, without a doubt. Okay, so let's see here. I think the next thing I'm doing here is going to be to try to finagle everything together there. Yeah, spinning wires together scares me a little bit, because this is magnet wire, and I know I'm just going to break it. So I do try to avoid doing that, at least when I'm using magnet wire. I don't like using magnet wire. I prefer to have LEDs with like the silicone or the PVC wiring, or the insulation. But I accidentally ordered magnet wire LEDs, unfortunately. Okay, that should be pretty well organized in order for me to just slide the top on now. Yep, looking good. All right, let's see if this top's gonna go on nice and smooth. Oh, cab did not like that for some reason. Eee. That's a scary sound. Seems like it's sitting a little high. I'm not entirely sure why, because the fuel tanks are right there. Let's see if the... Oh, did I might have goofed something up on this. Ew. Yep. So the sill was not sticking to the rest of the shell. So I put just a little dab of super glue on these 4 points here. And now what I'm realizing is that these 4 points are actually what kind of sticks the shell back down into the chassis. So I have to file down all this excess super glue. Yeah, it was the tabs not sticking into place is what the issue was there, Garrett. Yeah. I should have been a little bit more careful with my gluing. I'm not gonna lie, guys, I thought a few of you would have fallen off by now. I appreciate you sticking around the whole stream. You guys are awesome. Definitely have learned my lesson with just leaving the shell as is. I don't know why I thought this was a good idea. Apparently, even though I glued this one, it's not even doing anything. So that's great. Knocking wires loose. The cat has come back down the stairs to meow at me as well. That's awesome, BN Ironwood. I'm glad to give you some company. I'm glad to have the company. Like I said, wife's out of town, so I'd be down here fiddling away anyway. I might as well hang out with some people in the live stream chat while I'm working. Works out well. Come on, glue. Almost got it all cleaned up. All right, I'm gonna try this. Hopefully I've got it cleaned up well enough. Let me just redo these wires. Maybe. It's Hello Cat. I don't know if you guys can hear the cat meowing in the background, but usually he's asleep by my feet at this time of night upstairs, watching TV on the couch. So I don't think he's very much appreciating that I'm still downstairs. Old man he is, 16 years old. All right, Garrett, take care. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate you. All right, let's see if this is going to fit any better now. I don't know why this cab keeps popping off. Oh yeah, much better fit now. I think, maybe. I can't really tell. There we go. The back's definitely good. The front, I think the front's good. All right. Ooh, busted the Sinclair antenna off. That's okay. I got replacements for those. Okay, let's double check that lighting functions are still working here, and then we'll get coupler boxes in. Okay. Everything's still good. Awesome. All right. Coupler boxes coming up. Maybe. As long as I can find them. Yep. All right. Get a couple of scale head KDs. The coupler boxes that are on this cradle are actually for 2301. And Phillips head screws. Oh man, that's fun. I thought you were already out of here, Ed. Alright, let's see. Do we have a good fit? I think we do. If I remember right, these old Athearn boxes are very strange. A very strange fit, I should say. I think you kind of gotta pop them in. Instead of sliding it in with the coupler, you've got to pop it in behind it, sort of. Yeah. Rats. Fell apart on me. The end of the SD70 saga is near. Well, we do still have to put handrails on, but yep, definitely closer than we were. Come on. Who would have thought the most challenging part was going to end up being getting a coupler in the coupler box? I can very much see why they don't use this design for their couplers anymore. Too tight. All right, there's one. It is a pretty challenging task, isn't it, Tim? I think I'm learning a few tricks as I go here, though. That's just basically be ready with everything before you bother putting anything in. Okay. Time for handrails. Now, the scary part about handrails is that these are old handrails, and they're still in the sprue, which scares the heck out of me because I really don't know how well they're going to come out of the sprues. This is not sitting right for some reason, but I'm going to have to address that at a later date, I think. There's the handrails. Okay, here we go. I really don't know how well this is going to go. This could be make or break for ending the stream or not. And one of them's already broken out of the package. Unbelievable. It's repairable, but that's still... that grinds my gears. Well, that's... Actually, it's not the one I thought was broken. They also still have to be painted, but I paint in place, actually. That's how I do mine, just because they get so brittle. Let's see, this one should be this side. Let's see if we can just get these long hood ones on. Crash and burn. It's okay. It should be repairable. Just a little bit of super glue. Thankfully, I think SD70M handrails are readily available online if I need them, but hopefully I won't need them. We'll see. So provided that this all goes smoothly, you guys can look out for a video on this thing next, either Thursday or Friday. I've actually already got like the first part of the video edited, and then I'm going to rip the footage out of the live stream here to finish it off. But yeah, you'll have to tune in and find out, is it worth it? That's the whole premise of the video, is it worth it to take an older Athearn Genesis locomotive and update it to modern-ish standards? Okay. Those are all good. Just gotta get this back one in. Call that good. Okay, let's see if we can figure out if this one's gonna cooperate with us or not. That's in. That's in. Maybe it's in, maybe it's not. That might just need a little dab of glue to stay in. It doesn't seem like it's a flush fit at all. super glue ready here. Let's see. Hey, Joey made it. Welcome in, Joey. You've missed quite the saga tonight. So far. We are still not done. Worked on a bunch of projects that are not finishable tonight before I even started working on any that are. Okay, let's just get a little dab in that hole. Slide that in. And I'm going to do the same back here because that one's not in properly either. That was a little sloppier than I'd like to have been there. Okay, that one's good. Okay, let's get another one of these out of the spruce. Let's see. Let me do the other side of the... I don't know what that piece was that was broken now, because I can't... Oh, okay. Huh. Maybe it was... Well, I don't know. There's handrails on here for a standard cab SD70M as well. And I'm wondering if one of them, if that's where that broken piece right here came from. But I don't see... I can't tell where it came from. I guess we'll find out as we get there. The cab ones for me, for some reason, are always the hardest, so I'm going to get those taken care of first. Okay, and then I'm assuming this is going to need the same treatment as the other side, where it needs a little dab of glue to stay in place properly. Okay, that's in. This does not seem like it's sitting right, but I'm not entirely sure why not. I think the clips are in. Okay. Let's do the front and back pilots now. Yeah, if I'm missing exactly, Joey. Okay. You know what, while I'm here, I'm gonna get the rest the other pilot off the sprue here too. Oh, that's a bummer, Joey. I know you've been looking forward to getting that done. Hopefully they can get back out there quick though. Man. All right, Let's see how well this is going to fit with the ditch lights and everything. I may actually, just in advance, need to... I think I accidentally filled one of the stanchion holes with a little bit of super glue when I was putting in the ditch lights. I think I can see. So I'm going to go ahead and drill that out before I even bother trying to put anything in there. I can see it. Ooh, yikes, that is very close to the ditch light. There we go. Maybe next Friday. Man. Yeah, Dennis, I'm still here. We're nearing completion on this 70M. Almost there. Almost. Just putting these handrails in. And then I'm going to call it done. Still a little bit of detail work to do, but I don't need to do that on live stream. It's just painting the handrails. Nothing too crazy. Okay, there's that. Oh, sorry. Just realized you guys couldn't see that, and one of the handrails just fell off. Great. Still can't see it, can you? Oh. There we go. Alright. Now, I gotta get this one back on. This time I'm not gonna mess around. I'm gonna get a little dab of super glue in there. Okay, front is done. Let's get the back ones on, and then the last side frame. Hopefully not still going. Hey KT, welcome in. Yeah, no, I do think, I don't know, I might still try to get that B23 done after this. I don't expect anybody to have to stick around the whole darn time, but... like Ed said, it's a marathon. That's for sure. Okay, there we go, down to the last handrail. This is going to be power for HO6, yep. Although I'm, quickly realizing that, Even though I expanded the engine shops in Himrod, I still don't have enough room. So I think what's going to end up happening is that HO6 power is going to kind of get rotated on and off the layout. So it'll be different HO6 power on the layout, you know, every different session basically. I do have some nice display cases that I need to mount, so I'll likely just use one of those for active stuff. Kevin, you changed your username. I didn't even realize that was you. Alright, there we go. That's loose. Okay, here we go. Now, I can't remember if these need to be painted yellow or if they need to be painted white, the handrails. Oh, that stanchion is bent up. I don't know when that happened. Oh, so is that one. Wow. Yikes. You should talk to Dennis then. Dennis still has his adolescent username. I think when Dennis, when you you know what you should do, Dennis, because I know you kind of want to work towards it. When you get your MMR, that's when you should change it. Just as like a full-on graduation thing. You could make a whole YouTube series out of it, honestly, getting your MMR so that you can change your name. That would be fun. Yeah, it's hard to resist that, isn't it, Tim? It used to be easier for me to resist the urge because, you know, the Finger Lakes was so specific as far as power, but now this bringing the freelance into it, anytime I see an undeck locomotive, I'm like, oh man, does the freelance need this particular locomotive? I don't know. The roster and the modeled roster are going to be two very different things, though. Because I want to kind of limit myself to like 4, maybe 5 modeled units. But the roster would probably be closer to, for what I'm doing, the roster would probably be like a 6 or 7 locomotive roster. I don't know. Okay, all the handrails are on. I am happy with how they all look. I think I am going to get them painted here real quick. I'm getting kind of my second wind here. So we'll say it's not done till it's painted, I guess. I do have to double check though if I need yellow or white. let's see. I think it's yellow, but I just want to be sure. Let's see, yellow. Yellow, what was it in the thoroughbred? Okay, yellow. Okay, get the yellow out here. Use this yellow. Or actually, do I have acrylic? So I've got acrylic yellow, I should use that, just in case. Oh boy! I might not have acrylic yellow. Oh jeez. Tearing apart my bins. Okay. Well, if I can use acrylic yellow, I believe I've got enamel yellow. There we go. GVT 3600, yeah. Oh boy. Now the question is, are we getting the enamel yellow open or not? Nope, we're not. This is back to the true color. So like I said, I do like to just kind of paint these in place. Just because I've discovered if you don't, when you're handling them, they get all marred up anyway. This yellow does not grab as well as the enamel though. So I might end up having to circle back for a second coat. Hopefully you guys can see this. I think I'm keeping it in view. Oh, I gotta put that back in the stanchion. Oops. I won't go back in now. You goofy goober. Struggling. Jeez Louise. Holy cow. Wasn't this much trouble when I put it in the first time. There we go. Now I got it. And it popped right back out. Great. Time for a little glue. Okay, hopefully it'll stay now. I'll leave that one alone while I do the rest of these. Yeah, goofy goober. Hey, Rob made it. I was wondering if you'd show up, my friend. Welcome to the marathon. Can't end the stream until we finish a project. But the good news is, this is a almost done project. Just need to finish painting the handrails. The rock is so... Are you trying to imply that you live under a rock, Rob? Oh, finally just had one little goof up. Usually I'm pretty steady-handed with this, which is why I like to paint them in place, but it's okay. I can touch it up pretty easy. Rob, you got talked about on Heath's live stream on Wednesday. A little bit. Ray Arnott was in the chat, and Ed and I were too. So, people got to get a little bit of a sneak glimpse at your episode, which I'm really, really looking forward to. Hopefully this Tuesday it is when it comes out. Was it flattering? Of course it was flattering, Rob. Nobody could pronounce your last name. That's how flattering it was. Okay, let's see. Oh, gotta do just this side, and then ooh, got way too much paint on that brush. Blarbles. Some guy turned into a human crayon. Uh-oh. Is that an even bigger sneak peek than we got? Oh, I just realized you guys can't see crap. My bad, my bad. Now, if I really want to have fun, I can paint the chain silver. Another one that doesn't want to stay in its housing. Oh, yeah. Yeah, actually, I was on the phone with John Becker right before the stream, and he had mentioned something about that. That's really, really sad. Okay, that's in. I might circle back with just another coat here quick. At this point, Ed's like, good God, call this thing done so I can go to bed. Yeah, sorry, Rob. I know you enjoy looking at my wrist, but wasn't the intent of this stream, that's for sure. Gosh, I hope it wasn't captured on the camera. That would be... ugh. Okay. Just one more coat back here, and then we'll call it good on this one. Ah. Okay, Ed, you can go to bed. I'm calling it done. Woo! Oh, that's heartbreaking. That's a bummer. Rob, I hope your foot feels better. Did you get to the doctor for it, or? Gotta clean this brush here quickly. Oops. Actually, that's solvent-based. I need acetone to clean this brush. Great. Brush is clean. Ugh, that stinks. Night, Ed. All right, so. Oops. Oh, what did I just do? Hang on. I'm happy with this project. we can officially end the stream whenever we want now because we finished one. Officially. I'm very happy about that, for sure. But I want to keep going. I want to get the 2301 done here too. So if anybody wants to fall off like Ed, feel free. But I've got some time, and time is... well, sorry, Rob. I apologize. It was kind of a spur-of-the-moment thing. I didn't even, plan it until 2 o'clock this afternoon. I was like, what do I do? I was talking to Britt before she left. I was like, what do I do while you're gone? I was like, maybe I'll throw a live stream up tonight. But yeah, we've got an evening worth of no husbandly obligations. So we're going to take advantage of it. Here we go with Paul being a menace with electrical tape again. Bien, no, I'm not. The short answer to that is no. I'm not. I'm already out of room in that engine facility. And I've got a Scale Trains SD40-2 on pre-order. Scale Trains happens to be doing a number in the new X-Conrail announcement that they made. That's an exact match for a SD42 that's a regular on H06. So I kind of had to buy that one. Okay, so let's see. I've got some bad... Oh, this is the old... Yeah, I'm so not used to the regular PNP style boards now that this is foreign to me now. I've been working on so many decoder buddies and then the PNPs with the Keep Alives built in that I barely even recognize this. Okay, I need to... Honestly, probably... Oh gosh, there's so much wire in here. Oh wow, look at that. That's a whole truck lead just loose. $2,553, yeah. Yeah, well, I appreciate the offer, but the home won't be here. Too much stuff. All right, what are we doing here? Gosh, this is such a rat's nest. What was I thinking back when I did this thing? Let's get the accessory wires off. The old ones. What I might end up needing to do, and I'm nervous about it, is replace this other headlight too, or the headlight as well as the ditch lights, because the LEDs I'm working with right now are unfortunately way cooler of a color. They're supposed to be warm white, but they're not quite as warm a white as I would like them to be, if that makes sense. Oh boy, so much wire. Okay. Good there. Okay, so I should be able to actually just resolder this headlight lead back in here. Okay. And then, like a sane human being, I'll use the actual dedicated pads for it now. What do I do with the manual here? Yeah, that's a challenge for sure. I wouldn't mind trying at some point to do LEDs on an N scale. Okay, lock sound direct. Where are we here? Well, this is the DCC direct, but it doesn't have anything labeled. Please follow figure 4 on the back. Figure 4. Figure 2, 3, 4. Hello? Oh, for the installation of the power pack. Well, where the heck is... Well, it says it's U positive, so I should be fine. Get that fixed too. Actually, for now, I'll just try to hold that up. And actually, I don't even know I'm worried about soldering pads right now. I don't even have the LEDs in yet. There we go. I do have some fiber optic cable here, but I think it's probably too thick for N scale. Alright, so that's good. Let's get the new LEDs in place. Gosh, you guys are hanging around with me tonight. This is awesome. I really appreciate everybody tuning in, staying with me through this entire marathon. I'm going to sleep well tonight, feeling accomplished. That's for sure. Too many projects on the workbench is, you know, everybody's got too many projects on the workbench, but feels good to knock a couple of them off, that's for sure. Alright, where'd I put the hole to... There we go. And actually, before I get too far, this is part of the issue that I was having, is that I didn't have the grooves channeled in for these lights to sit in, and that's where it got pinched. The rest of the newer builds that I've done, I've channeled, or I've put in a bit of a channel, but this was one of the very first ones I did, so I hadn't done that yet. That's cool, Kevin. Glad you're working on your layout. That's You gotta do some layout updates or some sort of YouTube videos yourself on that layout. You sent me a couple pictures once, and I was like, wow, it's a pretty good size layout. Curved one out here. Sweet, Dennis. Glad you got the resources with you in the hotel to do that. I really want to get out to that Northeast RPM, but the weekend after Memorial Day is just not good for me because I'm gone for Memorial Day weekend, and I don't want to be out of the house 2 weekends in a row. Paul has accomplished a lot tonight, Dennis. Give me a second to finish this filing, and then we'll review. All right, so let's see. First thing we accomplished, we got modeling paste on this tree, which there's a little bit of cleanup to do for sure, but we experimented with a new way to add texture to the tree, which I'll kind of demonstrate, but I've got an old golf brush, and if you, I won't do that over the locomotive, but if you just kind of brush it while it's still curing a little bit, you can add a bunch of texture into the trunk, which looks, more realistically like bark. And then once I've got it all painted, one uniform color, I'm going to come back in and dry brush a lighter color to really, really add some texture to this so that it hopefully ends up looking like those the trees Tom Johnson had in Ray's Tuesday night chat. That's what I'm going for, trying to replicate here myself. He said that those trees were store-bought, surprisingly, but I'm going to try to replicate it in a homemade tree here. So that's what we're working on there. This is of course the armature I worked on while I was camping as well. And this is Weeping Willow 2.0 because the original Weeping Willow that I had, I was not happy with the branch structure for. So I ended up making a new Weeping Willow armature, and we'll get that project up and running. Second thing we worked on was the Freelance GP30. Got some decals on this. Sorry, Dennis. Yeah, so it's GP30's got a bunch of the decals on. I came to the realization that the paint that I did on the nose is unfortunately not straight. So I'm going to take the nose off because it's a removable nose, which is really nice with these Walthers or the Proto Locos. So I'm going to remove the nose, strip it down, and repaint it just flat green, and then the back decal here, or the back stripe, is actually just a decal. So I'm just going to do a decal all the way across now when I redo it. So happy with how that's looking so far, for sure. And then the last thing we worked on, which I think everybody was here for, but is the SD70M, which is now, it's done. It's so cool that it's freaking done. I can't believe it. I'm so excited. Oh, that's cool that you got a bunch of decals coming, Rob. I just helped Rick with his Freelance decals today. So he's going to have some decals coming from Fusion Scales where he ordered them. I'm not sure where you ordered yours, but pretty cool. And now this is the last project for the night. This is the B23 2301 that unfortunately when I was doing the Scale Sound Systems install, I pinched one of the lights or the light wires. So there's a keep alive in it. It's a capacitor. It's a built-in keep alive decoder. So here, give it a second, it'll go off. Boom. So yeah, keep alives are cool, man. Keep alives keep all the lighting functions lit. Keeps the motor spinning, keeps the lighting going, and the sound going, which is pretty darn cool. Okay, so back to the B23 here. Let's get this last ditch light in. Witch! Send me to Salem. No, really. I love Salem. My wife and I go there all the time. So let's see, what hour are we on? We started at 7:30, 8:30, 9:30, 10:30. All right, so we're in hour 4. That is a crazy long live stream. But you know what? Like I said, these projects needed to get done. And I would have been down here working on them. Would have been working on them this late anyway. So, might as well work on it with some people. Hang out. Have a conversation while I'm doing it. Worth it. So Salem, I mean, my wife Brittany she loves Halloween. She loves anything spooky season, anything like that. So we went to Boston on our honeymoon, and then we went up there for a day, and we just we loved it. It was so much fun. So now I mean, around our anniversary, we tend to end up back there every couple of years. Went last year. I think we've been like 3 or 5 times now. I don't know. Something like that. Four, I think, is the number. But, you know, the greater Boston area is just so easy to get around on the MBTA, too, that we usually we stay close to Salem now, and then we'll still go into Boston when we're there, but we'll take the train in because it's like a 20-30 minute train ride right along the coast, which is gorgeous. A lot of fun. All right, let's get some ditch lights gluing in here. Yeah, gotta love the tea. Right, Dennis. Hopefully, I don't know if that's still the plan, but hopefully you get to enjoy the tea for a long time. Come on. Wow, this one just does not want to move. There we go. Ooh, be an ironwood. Hey, here's my first opportunity to do that. Do the heat shrink tube. If you're still out there, I'll definitely do it. Okay, I've got those close. I'm thinking what I'm gonna do here is I'm just gonna get them wired up, test it. And then we'll go from there. Awesome. Yeah, so we'll try the heat shrink tube trick here on this set. Who all is still out there? I'm curious because it's showing me. I think that I got 14 people watching still. I can't believe, as many of you are still out there as you are. It's really cool. It's been a marathon stream for me, and I can't, yeah. Sound off if you're still out there watching, so I can say thank you to all of you, I guess. Rob's not here. Dave's not here. Yeah, Tim, you've been here since the very beginning. That's awesome. Sean, you've been here pretty much the whole time now too, practically. Sean, are you out in the workshop working still? All right, so now the question's going to become, how do I want to do the heat shrink trick? I think I still want to tape my my wires here and then get them up and join them with the headlight and put the heat shrink there, maybe? Let me get my positives soldered together here. Oh, they fell apart. Well, I'm glad to be your background noise, tooling around in the shop. Midnight Taco Bell run. Rob, I almost texted you earlier this week because I knew I was going to be, without a Brittany this weekend, to see what you were going to be doing tomorrow, to see if you wanted to come over and hang out and see the layout. And I shouldn't be getting your hopes up now because, unfortunately, I got roped into taking care of a tree at my sister's house tomorrow. So I didn't end up texting you to see. Unfortunately, I was going to be like, Rob, I finally have a free Saturday. And I didn't. I also was like, well, maybe I'll do something in the evening, but now Britt's not sure if she's, well, I could still do something in the evening if I really wanted to. Britt's not sure if she's coming home tomorrow night or Sunday morning. So we'll see, but I'm also not sure. I'm going to be doing a ton of manual labor tomorrow, so I could be too beat to do anything. We'll see. Okay, so we got all of our wires loose here. Let's see. My heat shrink. Coaxed into a driving range trip? All right. Now, we got to wait for... Well, we don't have to wait for it, I shouldn't say, but we got to go to Top Golf once it opens in Rochester. Yeah. Yep, a closed Taco Bell, that's for sure. Used to be, Tim, I would all the time... Like for a midnight meal, I'd go to Sporta Kings right next to Taco Bell. They're in Batavia. But they're not open 24 hours anymore either. Used to go there all the time with my dad. We'd be up late watching TV and be like, "You want to go get pie?" Be like, "Yeah." It's like a Saturday night thing. We'd finish watching Saturday Night Live, and he'd be like, he never, he never has the best sleep, so. All right, let me get these. I'm gonna tape these up still because I think that's still my best course of action. Yeah. Same here, Dennis. And then in college, in Pennsylvania, they've got Eaton Park. I don't know if anybody out there in the chat's in Pennsylvania at all, but I used to go to Eaton Park after work in college all the time and get pie there after work with my wife. Well, my girlfriend at the time, but now she's my wife. Oh, that's cool, Tim. All right. Wire, cooperate with me here. No, Top Golf is like a big driving range with a sim, so you see your actual like numbers and stuff, but you still see the ball fly. And they've got a bunch of different games that you can play and stuff. It's really fun, or at least it looks really fun. I've never actually been to one, but we're getting one right next to Costco, so. And last time I was at Costco, I saw that they were doing all the grading for it, so. We'll probably have it in the next couple of years, I would imagine. Okay. So, I need to pull all the excess slack through here. All right, beautiful. Yeah. I really am a big fan of the whole heat shrink thing. BN. And Nathan, if you're still out there, I don't know. Yeah, the Costco in Rochester in Citygate. They're putting in a hotel and a Top Golf and a Chick-fil-A in that area. I'm not much of a Chick-fil-A person myself, but Tim, how do you feel about Crosby's pizza? Everybody I know loves it. I can't stand it. Like, for some reason, some of my friends would rather have a Costco, or no, not a Costco pizza. Costco pizza is pretty good. Would rather have a Crosby's pizza than like a normal pizzeria for some reason. I do not understand that at all. Crosby's is desperation pizza. Amen, Rob. Amen. I wish the rest of my friends felt the way you do. I will say their breakfast pizza is pretty solid, but their sauce is way too acidic for me. I should shorten these. Why didn't I think about doing that? Yeah. Definitely won't bother shrinking it. I like Burn & Dairy's breakfast pizza. I've not had their normal pizza, though. Oh, jeez, Tim. All right, so you're a fan of Crosby's Pizza. Got it. The sauce is too acidic for me. I don't know why. Oh boy, maybe this wasn't the right move. Here we go. There we go. Finally got it to strip. Burn & Dairy is turning into the Rochester Wawa. Kinda. Although I much prefer Sheets to Wawa. But I spent most of my time in Pennsylvania, in college in Western Pennsylvania, where it was Sheets or nothing. But still far superior in my opinion. Okay, 2 more wires to solder in here. A little bit more wire management to do, and then hopefully, quick test, button it up, and get her done. The best weird pizza slice. Okay, why is it weird? I must know. Come on. There we go. Ooh, I like it. I really like a thicker dough, thicker, fluffier dough on my pizza. Honestly, it's kind of the Buffalo MO for pizza. Well, Western New York pizza, MO, which I like. Okay, let's give this thing a test. See if I need to replace the headlight or not. Hopefully it's all working, first of all. Yep, working. Nah, I don't think I need to replace it. They're pretty close. Cool. Alright, I'm gonna get this thing buttoned up and get those the ditch lights secured down. Yeah, we like good pizza with our wings up here too. Our definition of good is just not the same as all. I'm very much a pizza snob. But I like the Western New York style. Competent in all slices, yes. Well, I mean, Rochester itself has a good variety of, every type of pizza, at least, so. All right, let's see, Yep, that's how we're doing this. Come on. Work with me here, foam tape. Ugh, Perry's, yeah. I could go for a Perry slice right now. They have such good wings, too. Like, I like my wings super crispy, and theirs is really good. I've never had Chester Cab. Actually, I might need to trim these down just a little bit. Too wide. Oh, what do I think about Z-scale? It's interesting. Very, very small. Probably too small for me to handle. Too much of a challenge. I'm looking forward to taking on more N-scale projects, though, in the distant to near future. Have you dabbled in Z-scale at all, Dennis? Okay. Decoder now properly secured down. Still got a couple of longer leads from the back headlights to deal with, but I'm just gonna pretend they're not there. And hopefully that works for me. Now here's the other issue, is somehow I bent the heck out of this motor lead. It's been bent since I, initially did the locomotive, but every time I put the shell on it, ends up bending itself again. Yeah, I think Z's probably a little too small for me. If it's something anybody else is interested in, though, hey. Everybody's that's the beautiful thing about model railroading, is that there's room for everybody to do their own thing here. So, okay, those are good. I just need to really make sure I secure these ditch lights down before I button it up, though. Best place to get trains. Depends on where you're located. I'm always a big proponent of supporting your local hobby shop. So if you're, you know, like I said, depend on where you are. Okay. I think I placed that way too far from where it actually belongs. Whistle stop in Oregon. Okay. I'm not sure about Oregon, where the best stuff is. I've only ever been to Portland once, and unfortunately, I didn't think to go to a hobby shop while I was there. Which is kind of surprising, because I usually try to seek out hobby shops while I'm there. Might be back in a few years, though. 2027, the NMRA National Convention's in Tacoma, Washington. And I'm thinking I might lump a big road trip up the West Coast into a visit to the National. Yeah. Okay. This one doesn't want to behave. Let's see if we can get the other one working. That's a bummer. Good railfan city, though, at least. I don't know if you're into that at all, but I had some fun railfanning while I was there. Went out and chased the BNSF Fallbrook while I was there. Gorgeous line. I'm honestly looking. I love Oregon and Washington. I'm really looking forward to getting back out there at some point soon. Honestly, if it wasn't for family, I do love where I live, but if I was to live anywhere else, it would be the Northwest, without a doubt. Yeah, the Great Batavia Train Show is a great place to buy trains, that's for sure, Rob. Trying to get these straight. You guys hear my cat meowing? He's like, dude, it's time for frickin' bed. What are we doing? I'm 16 years old. Can't keep me up this late. And I need your body heat to sleep. Ditch lights are a little bit crooked. I'm just trying to correct that. You're in the background. Yeah, good luck, Kevin. They don't come out much when people are here. We can try to arrange it, but sometimes they don't like people. All right, I think I'm gonna call that good enough. Just make sure they're still working, and they are. Oh yeah. Oh, is the keep alive working now? Cause that's weird. Yeah, it's still working. Looking good. We have 2 cats. We've always had 2 cats, Rob. Honey and Jonas are our 2 cats. Jonas, Brit's had since she was, well, he's 16. I don't remember when she got him. It was long before I was in her life, so. Jonas has been around a long, long time. And then we got Honey, like 6 months into dating, something like that. So she's like 12 now. Screwdriver. Uh-oh. What did I do with my Phillips head? Oh, there it is. Yep. We've had cats longer than we've had dogs. I am very firmly a dog person. But, I love my cats, but they're probably the last cats I'll ever have. They're great, but I'm over the litter box. Yeah, those cats are, they're always nowhere to be found anytime anybody's here. That's without a doubt. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that is 2 completed projects when we were only, only had the goal of 1. Woo! Well, good news, Dennis. The stream's done anyway, so have a good night. Oh, man. Wow. What a productive night. I am, couldn't be happier. Look at all the stuff we got done. This is awesome. Hide and seek at Paul's. Yeah. Kevin disappears from the op session. Where's Kevin? I don't know. He went upstairs with a safari hat and a butterfly net. Said he was looking for a rare jungle cat. Night, Dennis. Okay, well, my friends, thank you so much for tuning in. Thanks to all of you that have been here through the whole thing. Thanks for all of you who joined late and stayed up late with me. Thanks for everybody that is tuning in to catch the rest of it on replay that went to bed. And, I appreciate all of you for tuning in. Overexaggeratedly tiptoeing. Yeah. Appreciate all of you again. And we'll see you in the next video. Be on the lookout. A little bit of this footage will end up in the video for the SD70M, which I'm hoping I should be able to have out sometime next week. So keep an eye out for it then. Ed, why are you still up? Go to bed. You gotta work. Ay. All right. Good night, everybody.